the very long held notion that Indians were essentially agriculturists and rarely took to trade, especially long distance seaborne commerce, is now open to question by a rigorous analysis of different types of sources. Yes, in the Brahmanical normative treatises, the images one did not normally take to crossing of the sea, because sea is considered as a pollutant to the voyager. Yet, if we take into account how Indian scripts, Indian religions, different Indian religions, Indian language, and even some of the Brahmanas appeared in Southeast Asia, both mainland Southeast Asia and maritime Southeast Asia, one has to ask, how did they reach to these distant destinations? Obviously, by crossing the Bay of Bengal. And that immediately opens up a critical approach to the Shastric injunction on the against the crossing of the sea, which is normally brought in the category of Kalivarjya, that is forbidden acts in the terrible Kali age. Similarly, say in the 1950s, 1960s, many of them very great historians tried to write the history of India's commerce with the Roman Empire. The main bulk of evidence was culled from a large variety of Greek and Latin texts, like the texts of Orion, Diodorus, Strabo, Pliny, Ptolemy, and obviously the very famous Periplus of the Erythraean Sea, written by an anonymous Greek shipper. Now, the picture is much more interesting, as historians of the same subject would like to draw upon, and very heavily upon, field archaeological explored and excavated materials, say from the excavation at Berenike in the Red Sea area, which has yielded not only many Roman artifacts but also a number of Indian artifacts. Obviously, these Indian artifacts reached the very famous port of Berenike by way of maritime commerce. Similarly, the recent excavations at Pattanam in Kerala, close to Cranganore, indicates that this is the site of the celebrated port of Muziris, celebrated in classical literature. Now, with the availability of the archaeological materials from Pattanam, one can with some degree of certainty pinpoint the actual location of the great port of Muziris, which is also known in Tamil Sangam text as Muchiripattanam. Similarly, the port of Arikamedu, famous in the texts of Ptolemy and also Periplus of the Erythraean Sea as Poduke, we now know that how this area had a very long history, possibly from 200 BC, known from excavations and known from a particular type of pottery, and how Roman or Mediterranean pottery began to reach this particular port.